You're listening to Speaking Stellar Girl with Teri an interview series that inspires women to live their most stellar life. Teri is the co-founder of the Stellar Girl movement, and she is sitting down with women all over the world to hear about the key moments in their lives and how they live boldly, compassionately, and ultimately became a stellar girl.
Okay, welcome to Speaking Stellar Girl. I'm your host, Teri and I'm thrilled to have Danielle Schaffer joining me today. Danielle is a lifestyle blogger at citygirlgonemom. She is a mom of four, and she has amazing children, and I can't wait to talk all about them. She's a contributor on Today. She has been featured in Good Morning America, People Magazine, The View, and many other media outlets as well, where she discusses bridging the gap between kids and gender norms with her dance sensation son, Brody, the star of Boss Baby Brody, on TikTok and on Instagram. We have so much joy and so much stellar spirit to talk about. So let's dive right in. Welcome, Danielle. Thanks for coming on.
What a great introduction.
Oh, well, you're the stellar girl yourself. It needs a stellar intro.
Well, thank you.
So how's California today? Is it warm?
It's good. It's beautiful. And the four kids, of course, are walking in, but this is mom life. So if it gets loud, you know what's happening, right?
That's totally cool. I've got four myself. So I'm locked away in a little 8x8 room right now. So hopefully none of them will barge in. Are yours done school?
They're in school. Yes. They finally went back in March. So they were home for a year. And now my older three are in school. And then Brody's still home with me. So
and that's the best part.
Yes, he's going to stay home. He's going to homeschool, I think, for kindergarten. He starts kindergarten this September.
Oh my gosh, life goes by so fast. Like all of a sudden, I have one that's driving, which has freed up a little bit of my time. But you know, it goes by so fast, though, doesn't it?
Yes, and I can't wait till I have a driver, though. It sounds like really cool. Like help, maybe.
I don't know what the laws are like in California, but out here they only can have one family member or one friend in the car till they're 18.
Same. What state are you in?
I'm in Wisconsin.
Okay.
I moved here for love. I'm Canadian originally, but ended up back full circle. I was born in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, which is like right above Montana and South Dakota-ish.
Okay.
And made my way back to the prairies. So I'm a prairie girl at heart.
That's amazing.
But I do miss Vancouver, where I lived most of my life. So I'm a West Coast girl. I love Vancouver, BC. I miss the mountains and the ocean.
Oh, I bet. One of my best friends is Canadian, so I look at her pictures. Looks beautiful.
It is. You have to get to Vancouver. Put it on your Stellar Girl sites list. That's for sure.
I will.
So I would love to chat all about you and your family, because that is why we are here today, to talk about how you became an influencer and a blogger. What led you down that path?
I think, to sum it up really quickly, I was a school teacher. I taught for 10 years. I taught TV production. And when I got pregnant to my first child, I wanted to stay home with him. And it was in my nature to document our life. And I was always posting on Facebook. So then over a bottle of wine with my husband, he was like, why don't you just start a website for yourself? And, you go that route and you'll start documenting that way. And he came up with the name citygirlgonemom. Mm-hmm. And from there, I wrote my first article. Like, I think it's almost 10 years already.
Wow.
It's been 10 years. And we've been writing, I've been writing like 3 articles a week for a decade, and just all about my journey and motherhood and helping along the way, the falls, the ups and downs of life, and just being real and authentic with everything.
And you have been. Your podcast, tell me about that.
So the podcast is something I love. That's called The Mom Confidential. I haven't recorded in like a month, but I need to get back in there, because I get so busy with my other platforms with TikTok. Right now, I'm very viral on TikTok. So
yes, you are. And so is your son.
Crazy. Yes,
both of you.
It's crazy. So, but the podcast is something I love, because I love radio. I love putting a headset on. I love talking, getting down to the nitty gritty of things, and, asking questions out of the norm. And I just miss it. But I have a little studio here in my house, so I can record my podcast.
Perfect.
Here when I do. That's called The Mom Confidential. So I have the blog, The Mom Confidential, and then all my social media platforms, which are City Girl Gone Mom. So I have the Instagram and, Facebook, everything else.
And you just launched a swag line, which we need to show everybody.
Yeah, so I have these t-shirts that are based off of Brody's saying. So Boss Baby Brody is a little viral sensation. And he
And
says
that he is.
he is. He's got like 500,000 followers at, 5 years old. And he just, he says these adorable things like kiss your feelings, I love your face, mama gorgeous. And we decided to just write them down and launch a t-shirt line based off of his sayings.
Which is awesome.
Which is kind of cool in a way, right? Because it's different than what's already out there, because it's organic to us and people love his sayings. So they're doing well. So we have the mama gorgeous shirt and then the baby gorgeous. So you can match your child and, total mood. It's doing well right now. And we just kept it very simple with like a 1970s font and a rainbow because Brody's like a rainbow. He loves rainbows and that's it. Yeah. So we just launched that.
And you just decorated his room with the rainbow. You had an artist do a stencil. I love watching your guys' life on Instagram. Isn't that funny how social media has changed our world? Because I feel like I know a part of you.
Yes.
And then of course, reading through all your blogs through today, I went to almost every single one of them and read like some of them. You go deep, Danielle. You go places where not many people go. You've had your fair share of ups and downs and stories, and your brother passing. And you have so much experience, but you're so real and so authentic and so true to yourself, your kids. I mean, even like you're like, oh yeah, I gained a few pounds during quarantine and now I'm getting it off. Like you're just you.
Yes, I think it's better to be that way. I don't have anything in common with people that are fake, and act like everything is roses and beautiful, because that's not life. It's just not a good depiction of life. So even for me, I find people that are real, and I also love people that are funny, that could make me laugh. But at the end of the day, like, why would you want to depict something you're not? Because that's ridiculous, And yes, I put on the COVID weight, and guess what? I haven't even lost 1 pound. I can't. It's hard for me to get motivated because I'm always so busy working, and I have a lot of campaigns that I'm doing and things like that.
Can I say hi? Hi, guys. Well, hello, boss baby Brody. How are you?
Say hi. Oh, I love them. Give me a Roman. You want to say hi?
Look.
Roman got new shoes today.
Roman, let me see your shoes.
Go ahead, Roman. Oh, you could just pick up your foot, honey. See? He's so excited.
Those are stellar kicks. Can I say kicks? Is that still cool to say? Roman?
Thank you.
Yeah. And we have
I want to finish talking. Bye. I love you.
Oh, I love that. Bye. Oh my gosh. See, they just warm your heart, don't they? Like
they're amazing. I'm grateful I have 4 children. It's nuts, but I love it. I love it for sure.
Yeah, it's I call it my circus sometimes. I call it my zoo sometimes. I call it my peace sometimes.
Right.
My happiest place. But sometimes it gets really, really messy, and you share a lot about the mess.
Well, yes. I just think you need to, so that people don't think they're alone. So like losses, for example, I've had my share of pregnancy losses that were horrendous. I lost 3 that were really bad. 2 of them were just really bad. But I think that if you're real, then you can help other people navigate those hard turns in life. So instead of like, I never had a pregnancy loss. Lucky for you. I just got to keep it real. I'd rather share. I'm a sharer for sure. I'm an oversharer. I like to share the good, the bad, the ugly. And because if I could help someone, then I've done my job. That's how I look at it. Like, especially with my brother having an accidental overdose to fentanyl, like that's real. And that's a lot of people and a lot of kids are experimenting with drugs, and drugs right now are laced with fentanyl, and it could be deadly if you just try it. And it's so scary. And I don't know why our street drugs are laced with this deadly synthetic drug, but it's worse than what is it called? It's worse than heroin. It's stronger than heroin. It's
so
horrendous.
Addictive.
Yes. And it was an accident, it was like a pill that he took, and it was laced with fentanyl, enough fentanyl to stop him from breathing and to have an overdose and die because he was alone in his room. So those are real things that can happen to real people and real families. And I just think it's important to be the voice of that and to speak your truth, because you're not, why would you want to be anything but your truth? Speak your truth, make your own tribe. I'm not for everyone. People may not maybe judge that, and so be it. Then move on to the girl that's wearing matching clothes with her kids. It's really simple. I'm not for everyone, right?
But they have matching towels at the pool yesterday.
Yeah.
So
yes.
The
yes.
towels were matching. So
the towels were matching. So
was good.
I mean, we do it too sometimes. Like me and Brody will match
tutus.
But I have seen it with kids, with like people with 7 kids where they're all matching in the same outfit. That's wild.
That takes too much planning. I didn't want to go like gloss over what happened with your pregnancies and everything that you went through, but I would love our listeners to go check out your stories on your website. And also you can also find all of Danielle's blogs on Today, because that's where she really dives deep into her losses and her joys. So I don't want to go over that without mentioning where people can learn more in depth about this story, because it really, when I read them over the weekend, it was hard at times. So I really feel for you, what you went through.
It's okay. Thank you. I appreciate it. I mean, life is not easy. And I because sometimes people will look at my kitchen and they'll be like, oh my gosh, you have this perfect life. Look at you. And I'm like, my goodness, do you even know? Like, I grew up on welfare, like I grew up totally with like drug addict parents and things like that. So it's important to know that I overcame adversity. And that is like the big message. Like, if you come from nothing, it doesn't mean you can't have something later on, like you just got to.
Everyone has a story.
Everyone has a story, and you could change your plan. Mm-hmm. It's up to you to change your plan. Never mind the diet thing. I can't lose the weight, but once
it's harder. It's
I get
harder.
there.
It's so it's but you there are pictures of you and your husband in front of the theater in Vegas. You look stunning. So who cares what the scale says? We have to stop. We have to stop measuring ourselves by our inches in that stupid number.
It's true.
I want to throw mine out the window half the time. Yeah. I always, we always talk about stories, and everyone has a story. Everyone comes from somewhere. Everyone has their journey. And, we want our destinations to be at City Girl Gone Mom, if that's for you. If we want them to be at Stellar Girl, if that's for you. Like, everyone's got, somewhere to be and somewhere to tell their story. And that's why I started Stellar Girl, because we needed more joy in our lives. And the word stellar is, to be a champion, to be, the best of what you're doing, the best version of yourself, which sounds maybe cliche, but that's what a stellar person is, and add girl to it. And who wouldn't want to be one?
I agree. I love that. I love that saying. Stella is, for me, I would think, someone that can rise above would be my definition
of stellar. Yeah.
Someone that can rise above, and no matter what's thrown at you,
I love that.
What are you going to do with what was thrown at you, and how are you going to, help other people and rise above it?
100%. Let's talk about your son a little bit, because I would like to, ask your advice and have you tell your story a little bit about, if your son or your daughter is a bit different, and how you have dealt with that, and those who are struggling with it, because I think a lot of us are, and they don't know what to do and how to embrace it like you have.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Brody.
Yeah, sure. Brody is a dancer, and he gravitates towards tutus and rainbows, and he's just a child. And we don't see anything wrong with that. You get some social media craziness sometimes, especially on TikTok, but then you realize you're talking to a 10-year-old. So it's like, why bother? It's like, I can only pick my battles, but, as far as Brody's concerned, he's just being himself. Mm-hmm. And Bobby and I support him, and yes, we're parenting him. And, are we supposed to say, no, boys aren't allowed to like princess dresses? I mean, for me,
no,
I don't see a problem in Brody liking princess dresses. He gravitates towards that. My other 2 sons gravitate towards football, gravitate towards the color blue. we have, we run the gamut of all different kids in this house, and they all have their individuality. And I would never clip Brody's wings. It's what makes him happy, and it's why he's so happy and joyous, is because we let him explore and be himself. There's been times where we attended a wedding, and he, I guess he snuck a dress into the car, and he had a fit. I was like, you're keeping that suit on. We're going into this wedding. And it was a Southern wedding, and it was a bunch of Southern people. And I was, I was like, oh my God, just wear the suit for mama. Just wear the suit. And then I finally gave in, and we compromised, and he ended up wearing the dress that he wanted with the suit jacket. Perfect. And he had the best time ever. And what is it? He's not harming anyone.
No, he rocked it.
He rocked it, and he has a flair for fashion. Clearly, he just does. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's like the next Versace or something, because he's just fantastic. Or Elton John. He's just amazing. And I just support that. And so does my husband. My husband's military too. So it's, he's a military man. He fought in the war. He was born at Camp Lejeune in North Carolina. And if Bobby can come home with a tutu for his son, anyone can. So just, just support your child for what, what they gravitate to, because I wouldn't want to suppress him. And I think that's why I have this big community of people that enjoy following us because of our parenting. They say that they love that we allow him to be himself, and instead not put into some sort of box of what society says is normal, so
you set him free.
He's free.
One of my girlfriends told me, because I get into my head about how you should parent the kids and the schedules or the routines or what they're eating all the time. And one of my close girlfriends, one of my Stellar Girl girlfriends, said, set them free and you will have more calm and peace in your life.
Yes, you can't be, I mean, it's hard for us too, to monitor and be strict with the eating is hard too in our house. It's just, all of it is hard, but of course we want to still parent and tell them what's best for them, and hopefully it's going to stick.
Yeah.
And we'll go from there, and
how did your world change when Brody went viral?
Oh gosh. I mean, it's been wild. I guess the first thing that happened is Brody ended up on Oprah Winfrey's channel. That was like the first thing. And when Oprah says, in the commentary said, this is the next big thing, something like that. And I was like, oh my gosh. And then the next thing, Capitol Records called, and they flew to our house and put him in the Niall Horan video. And they had a full day here, and they ended up putting our entire family in the Niall Horan video for the song No Judgment. And when that happened and was released, it was like I had Google alerts going off on my phone. It was like an article after article after article after article of Brody. So he was like in the Rolling Stone magazine, Billboard, just Variety, like so many outlets started reaching out. Who is this kid? Put him on our show. And we did Good Morning America a couple times. It's just been a wild ride for sure. And we got picked up by William Morris, which is amazing. It's like one of the best agencies in the world. And now he has a really big manager. And, he's not an influencer. He's talented. He's a talented kid. Mom is more so like in the social media space, and Brody's just talented. And, if he gets a brand deal here and there, good for him. Maybe save it towards college and that's it. It's great. It's great. So our world changed, I would say, definitely when he went viral, because he's just, it's like, I think he stands for so much more than just a little boy who dances. Like he's just, there's more to it. There's a lot of people that reach out and say, thank you. I couldn't do this when I was a kid. I wasn't allowed to express that I wanted to dance. My parents wouldn't let me. Right. Thank you. And I get thousands of messages like that. So it actually breaks my heart, because I can't imagine how Brody would be if I was the person that clipped his wings and said, son, you can't dance. You're a boy. You got to play football. Son, you can't wear pink. You're a boy. Like, I can't imagine how different he would be if I suppressed his joy like this.
No, that is awesome. So what's next for you guys? What's next?
We have, let's see, so many things going on. I would say next would be the book. So Brody is going to have a children's book for sure.
A line or just one? You don't know.
Well, I'm sure we'll see how the first one does. And then I don't know how the book world works. And then Mom is working on her book too. So we're both going to do books.
Well, you are an incredible writer. The way you write for today, that you're writing on your own website, like you write well eloquently, you speak eloquently, and that's phenomenal.
I don't know about the speaking part. That
you do.
That New Yorker in me.
Well, you can hear it. You can still hear it from New York to.
I can't lose that. I can't lose that.
You can't. You absolutely
not when you're born and raised in the city. It's
absolutely not. So at Stellar Girl, we talk a lot about championing women and about celebrating women, each other and girlfriends. We need to pick each other up all the time because we need a hype girl.
Yes.
And so how can we better champion women today?
It's interesting. I think the best thing you could do is just check in more, like make time to check in and see how your friends are doing. How could you help them? Sometimes we get so sidetracked with just our own, even myself, like I'm so busy with my job, I don't get a chance to check in. So I make the time to check in, like, what can I do to make you smile today? How's it going? That's how I think checking in is number one, and then celebrating their accomplishments and their wins, even if it's a little thing, I'm always highlighting people on my Instagram, saying, check this person out. I'm always willing to help other people, collaborate with other women. They're not your competitor.
Exactly.
They are. Collaborate. It's all about collaborate, not competition.
Everyone can win. There's room for everyone to win.
There's an audience for everyone.
And for everyone
Even the girl
succeed.
that does the matching clothes, there's an audience for that. You know what I mean? There's an audience for everyone.
100%.
There's more than enough room in this world to never think of people as a competitor. That's huge. And you know what? Be kind.
Mm-hmm.
How simple.
Well, is that if the world could be kind?
If the world could be kind, right? I mean, never use your social media channels to bully someone or to hurt someone. Watch the comments you're making. It is your digital footprint and it will come back and haunt you.
100%.
100%. And that is something I'm a stickler with, like with my kids. Be careful what you say to people. Only if you have nothing nice to say, it's grandma's old rule. Listen to it. Don't say anything. It's that easy.
Yeah.
Just say something that's nice. I mean, for me, I'm a jokester, so I'm always making people laugh.
Yeah.
But for the most part, you'll never hear me bullying someone,
Oh.
I mean, I had it rough growing up and it just was a rough upbringing for sure. And I'm sure I wasn't the best kid at school, but you just gotta move, be kind, just be kind. And remember, if someone's not being kind, there's something wrong.
Yeah. There's something wrong with them, not with you.
There's something wrong. Right.
Yeah, and
like, I remember as a kid, like I was dealing with my parents, being like, so it just remember that. Just be kind, please.
Yeah, that's the best motto ever. I mean, we should all follow that before we open our mouths to say anything or type anything. That's exactly what we should think of first. And when you mentioned about your girlfriends to check in and to help them and support them, I recently met a girl out here in the prairies. We're in the state that I live in, that she's from California and from San Francisco. So every morning I wake up and I send her a photo from my phone or from the web of a beach in the water, so that every day she's reminded of that, because that brings her joy. And so we just do that back and forth throughout the day and done.
That's my friend Melissa. You have to meet her too. She has to come on your show. I'm going to make Melissa come on your show next.
Okay. I would love that, because
amazing.
Yes. And another person who makes us laugh is Heather Brooker.
Oh, I love her. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I have her on speed dial.
You should. We all need a Heather on speed dial.
She's amazing. She keeps it real too.
Like
I try to hang around girls that are real.
Yeah. Well,
you know?
there's no time for anything else. We don't have, we have too much to do. As I said, like I'm off to graduation or, it's like no one has time to
I know.
not be this way. And as you said, if they don't want to see Danielle and City Girl Gone Mom, they can go see the girl with the matching outfits and
That's right.
flying on the jet. That's cool
It's
too.
all you have in this world is your time.
Yeah.
And remember and choose who you want to spend it with.
Yeah. And give your energy back to yourself, and then you'll be able to give it to others.
Take care of you.
For sure. Well, thank you so much, Danielle, for chatting with me and speaking all things Stellar Girl. And I cannot wait to see what's next for your family, your blog, your world with Brody. I'll be watching all the time. We'll be in touch, and I will send you some stuff so you can sparkle and shine.
I'm so excited about your products.
Yes. So we'll make sure your family's all glitter and glowing for the summer.
Okay, I'm in. You're amazing.
Oh,
I enjoyed this.
Much.
Yes.
Thank you for chatting and taking the time. And maybe we'll hear you on Clubhouse soon. Have you been back there at all?
I go on occasionally, but TikTok, I told you, it just went so viral. I'm like a little bit wrapped up in that, but it's been the one group I was seeing all the time. He kind of dismantled his group, and I'm like a little lost. So I don't know where to begin again. So, when I can get on, I will. I just got to finish my work first, and then I was spending way too much time on Clubhouse. I was in the car. It was ridiculous. I know. So I'll get back on as soon as I can.
Sounds good. Thanks. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. And I really appreciate everything. It was so kind and sweet of you.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to today's episode. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that bell icon to be notified of new episodes. To learn more about the Stellar Girl movement, please visit us at STELLARGIRL.com.